Hello. What? Blind bombshell belief. Bond bombshell belief. B3. Okay, I'm not testing your eyesight. It was just upside down because I'm blonde. Um, let's start with today. Today was one of those days I'm like, okay, if you didn't laugh, you'd cry. It started off with Beth from Dr. Michael's office. She's the nurse there, calling, checking up on Grandma's weeping leg. And 2 days ago, we had a really bad evening with that. She had to have me take a hand towel, tape it to her leg with paper tape because she's allergic to the other tape. And then we put a bath towel in bed so she could take her leg and make sure that the water did not leak into the bed, which she was really worried about that. It was just that bad. And it has improved greatly. Mainly, I think, because I'm on her about her pills and I'm telling her when to take her pills and, hey, we got to do this now. We got to do this now. And I think that's helping her improve greatly. But long story short, the nurse was supposed to come out today. I informed our nurse that we had a hair appointment at 2 o'clock and we had to be there because Grandma was going to get her hair done. And I know that our next week we may not have a hair, we won't have a hair appointment. Monday is not my hairdresser's day to work. She doesn't work on Mondays. And on Saturday, she's going to be at an art show in Decatur. So it's not like I have plans. I mean, I seem to keep myself busy with housework and just little things, but it's okay. It's all good. And since we seem to do the bombshell before we do Dear Bombshell, I'm only going to do 2 videos tonight. I know that's not much, right? But I don't want to lose my voice. I work the next 2 days. I'm off Monday. I don't know if I'll see you guys Monday or not because, there's Raw and then I love my workout. Tonight I'm only taking the night off because I went and had my hair done in a nice little French braid, so it's all sophisticated. So, not over the top tonight. In other news, Walmart does not sell 4-pound weights. I think we mentioned this in the last video. So I thought about this and I'm like going, I don't want to jump from 3 to 5, mainly because of this operated shoulder. I don't want to put it at risk, and the doctor said to do it slowly. So I went on to eBay. They don't match in color, but they're 4-pound weights, and that's all that matters. So my treat to myself was 4-pound weights. And remember, I'm going to be going up to 10 pounds on each arm, so I'm really excited about this. I like working out at home. I like the privacy of it. I like the, if I was around other people, I would probably be going, oh my gosh, what are they doing? And should I be doing that? To me, I question myself too much, and I'm very self-conscious because I want to push myself harder, and I want to not, I'm probably my worst critic, besides the one that votes me down on YouTube. Everybody's like, is there a trick to your weight loss? The best trick that I can do, and it's the worst trick in my book, because of my self-esteem, I will be at lunch or be at a meal, and I'll look at the food, and I'll say, look at that, and look at how that's going to affect your cheeks if you eat too much of it. Look at that, and think about those hips if you eat too much of that, or your lower stomach. I mean, I want to get an exercise mat so I can start doing some lower mat work because I'm very self-conscious about my lower stomach. But I'm not eating a whole lot right now. I've made some more cutbacks, and Arby's announced this week that they are not going to be selling junior roast beefs anymore, and that affects my lunch hour greatly. I usually have a junior roast beef and a sweet potato or sweet potato crackers, whichever one comes first. But if it is a sweet potato, I only eat very little of it. And then if it is sweet potato crackers, only about 8 of them because I don't want to overdo it. And with I Eat a Junior, I'm not like you all out there eating the bun and everything. Because of my gluten and my PCOS, I would still want to keep everything in check. Whether I'm ever blessed with a kid at this point, biologically, I want to make sure that I'm physically able, if I'm blessed, if I adopt, to watch the child. So, that's one, and plus with high blood pressure and diabetes running gambit with PCOS, it's very important to keep that all in check. But again, I know I have to have some red meat in my diet because I don't want to run short on iron and be an iron deficiency. And I did, when I was at 145, which the doctor says that's too low, when I was at that weight, he was concerned that I was going to be anorexic, but then at that point I told him, I said, you know what, as I told him when I went in for my last checkup, I was happier at 145, and I intend to get back there. 156, where I'm at right now, it's nice, but it doesn't cut it, and it makes me feel fat. I do wear bigger size clothing right now. The reason being, it's comfortable, and I have had some stomach pains, issues, whatever you want to call it. So I don't like anything too tight around my lower midriff. Plus, you got to remember, when I was 22, I had a laparoscope surgery. That's where they go through your belly button. And they found those cysts, and I was wedged on my right side. So, and yes, I can still have kids. Somewhat guy asked me this week, about my PCOS and if I would be able to have kids. You got to think about my age. I'm going to be 4D. I hate that number with a passion. So I'm just going to stay 39 forever. We eliminated the word birthday. Eliminated the word older. I'm just going to be 39 again on August 3rd. Now, as for if I could carry a child to term, I'm going to say this. I didn't bust my butt and have all this surgery to be wedged and them to go in there and do ovarian drilling, get off those cysts, to have no child. But at the same time, I would have to be married to be working on a child because I'm that old-fashioned. Now, I'm jumping all over tonight. It's horrible. Back to my grandmother and her leg. So the nurse was supposed to come out today. The nurse didn't make it, obviously, but we talked on the phone, and the nurse was very happy with one thing, that I'm monitoring her high blood pressure medicines and making sure she gets those every night, and that she wondered if the water pill, even though Grandma doesn't like to take it because she's on Vesticare for her bladder, if that could be more used. So she's going to look into that, let us know more on Monday. I know she wanted us to go ahead and do the water pill until she found out, which I'm not really for sure that we should do that. So I'm not going to abide by that until the doctor gives the go-ahead to me. A nurse is one thing, but you're not the doctor. So I'm not going to play Russian roulette with my grandma's health. Yeah, I've been bitey and snappy all day. You ought to see me. When the lawnmower didn't work, I was kicking the lawnmower today going, come on, work, blasted. But that didn't make it work either. Good news is my seeds are coming up. I planted morning glories, impatiens, petunias, a little bit of everything, bachelor's button and sweet williams by seed. And I planted them around the fence line, and also where Grandma has her trellis, and that's where the morning glories are. Those are coming up slowly. Yay! My tax return isn't going to be as big as I wanted, which is very disappointing. And a good question came in on the Dear Bombshell, for the bombshell, is that going to affect my goals, my dreams, and my hopes of getting my credit cards paid off, A, fast, and B, will it affect me adopting? Yes, obviously, it is going to affect how fast the credit cards get paid off. I won't lie. I wanted to make sure when I found out that I was being penalized, even though I had health insurance because I paid for it every month. I obviously, and I find this laughable, made too much. So the insurance company that I went through to set me up for the insurance didn't do their job right. And therefore, I'm not going to be using them again. But anyway, that's another story. Found out that I made too much, and that's why they cut it in half, and the IRS got their half. Love them. Anyway, it's just going to take me longer, but I believe in myself and my hopes and my dreams. And at this point, and I'll say it again, if it does not happen for me biologically, I am looking at adopting. And yes, I know how expensive it is and the cost of it and all of those questions that you all have in your mind. But if it's God's will and if it's in God's plan, and I'm stubborn, I'm hard-headed, and by golly, I believe in myself and I know what I want out of life. So if it means I don't get to do extra little doodads like go to the WWE events or go to great concerts that I want to go to, I'm willing to sacrifice everything, because when you bottom line it, that's not going to get me what I want in life. And yeah, it's nice to have dreams and watch them come true, but I don't want to be saying, you know what, I really wish I wouldn't have missed out on being a mother. And there's a great chance that biologically that won't happen for me. And what really burns my hide on that is how much I went through with my favorite doctor, Dr. Horvat, to hopefully have a child someday. I was wedged on my right side. We did the laparoscope, and she wedged the right side and went in and burned off 16 cysts, the size ranging from a dime to a quarter, on the inside and the outside of my ovaries. 8 on the inside, 8 on the outside. And the reason I'm so emotional over it is because I think of everything that I've had to overcome. And without that one doctor believing in me, I would never have been able to come as far as I have. And when everybody says, well, you got to pick another doctor, it's not that easy. We live in a small community, and this small area, it's a once in a lifetime to find a doctor that knows about PCOS, knows how it affects me, knows what I want out of life, and wouldn't want to try and talk me into a hysterectomy, to B, being like, oh, here's some more medicine, even though I'm not on any medicine right now other than a vitamin and an allergy pill. And I don't want to live on medicine. I know the risks. I know, everything that I'm going against. But it's my life. And the way I feel about it is, if it's not meant to be biologically, then I will make my dreams come true. Not through IVF, because I believe, I'm very old-fashioned, that kids, in my mom's book, she would say marriage, kids, that's the way it happens. But in the real world, marriage doesn't always happen, especially when you've given your heart and it's been broken. So in that case, it's best to focus on the child. And, you know, I guess that's what I'm looking at in the future. So, yes, I'm going to get these credit cards paid off. And yes, I am going to focus on that. Because that means everything to me. And I just hope that you all support me on that. I really do. Question came in, have you given up on love? I want to get out of this weepy mode. So, let's poke a joke at it. On Meet Me, this 29-year-old, which is way too young for me, he messaged me, and listen to this, okay? I'm going to read it to you. Hi, I just wanted to see if you're interested in FLR. FLR stands for Female-Led Relationship, where the woman takes the lead and the man obeys in the kitchen, the laundry room, and especially in the bedroom. She is the queen, and he does anything she wants. Number 1, obedience. She gives the orders, and he follows them. And in great big letters, period. Number 2, domestic service. He does the housework, -- all of it. 3, personal service. He's her maid in waiting, looking after all the little details. I laughed, and then I posted it to Facebook because I thought it was funny. And I love my friends' response. Must not have a job. I hope you said no really fast. Sounds like a keeper, literally, ha ha ha, and showing the ha 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 face. You know, I'm at a point in life where I fell in love really hard, really fast, heart over head, over heels. And I probably won't ever recover from that. And that's okay. I realize that. And, you know, honestly, I'm scared to... I was quite happy. And I don't really know what made him get so spooked and run away. And, of course, I'm talking about Mr. CB. So, the way I look at that is, I tried, and I failed. And I don't take failing that well. So, why am I on my dating sites, right? That was one of the questions that one of the POFers asked me. I guess I hope that he sees a picture and changes his mind, or he decides that, you know what, whatever was said isn't that bad, and I'm talking about the cheap gossip that comes from people that have no clue, that don't know me from Adam, but run their damn little mouths. You just don't know me. And, okay, gonna move on. We're gonna do some Dear Bombshells, because I don't want to focus on me anymore. I've had a rough day today. I made the best of it at the end. I wanted to keep busy because I knew the nurse was coming Monday, so I made brownies, and I knew my mom and my nieces will be coming Monday, so they'll disappear quickly, and whatever doesn't disappear, I'm sure my coworkers will be glad to eat up my cake brownies. Anyway, I'm only going to sing one song tonight, so which is probably a good thing because I'm very emotional. But I missed my workout, but I wanted to share with you, I don't know if I did or not already, about the this is my second time shooting it. The first time I got interrupted. So we're going to go ahead and tell the barbell story again. If you heard it, you can skip over it. If you haven't heard it, you can watch it again. My doctor, because of my shoulder surgery I had, advised me, don't make the jump 3 to 5. Make it slow. Go 3 to 4, 5, and on up. Mainly also to get adjusted and not rush myself. So right now I've been using the 3-pound weights for definition of toning. I want to move up to the 4-pound weights, which Walmart doesn't sell those. And I don't want to have a body like, say, China. I just want to have definition and no saggy arm crap the older I get. I worry about that. So, I want just defined arms. And so we decided 10 pounds was more than enough. Don't need to focus on, muscular body arms. But I want to also do lower mat work. And I've got to get an exercise mat because I found some really great lower body exercises. And I want to do more of those. But I haven't got the exercise mat, so that's focused on next paycheck. But I'm moving up to 4-pound weights, not because Walmart had them. No. eBay had them. So I went to eBay, and they're not going to be matching in color, but who's going to see them but me, right? I've got a black 4-pound weight and a pink 4-pound weight, and they should be here next week. Hopefully by Monday. I want to start my 4 pounds on Monday. I use those weights for approximately 3 weeks. Then I try to move up in weight. And this procedure is going to keep on going until I reach 10 pounds on each arm. That's a total of 20 pounds lifting. But I think it's really important that I maintain a good upper body as well as lower body. So I'm really looking forward to that. And I don't know, I'm very self-conscious. And that's one reason I don't like to work out where there's a bunch of people, and I like to be by myself, because then if I look around and I start seeing these other people working out, and I'm like going, oh goodness, should I be doing that? And it's not good. So, plus they don't like country music, and I love country music. So I want to be where I can be my own coach, and I am really horrible at being my own coach, folks. When it comes to food, I will look at it and go, do I want to cause myself an extra mile on the bike? Do I want to cause myself an extra mile on that gazelle? And, the doctor has told me before, we've got to watch that. He doesn't want me to be back at 145. If he had his way, he wants me to maintain 156 and be happy with it. And I looked at him and I'm like, no, ain't happening. Just so many reasons besides not wanting to be a diabetic and not wanting to have high blood pressure. If by God above there's a biological child, I would want to be healthy to be able to carry that kid to term. And you got to think about this in the long run. Everything you eat affects your body in the long run. I once heard that your body is your temple and you should respect it as such. And I think that's probably one of the wisest things I've ever heard. So, I'm doing more of that now. Realizing my limits, going from there and actually caring about everything. So, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Some would probably say terrible because I don't eat bread and I don't eat pizza and I don't eat French fries and fried foods. However, if I was to ever get married, we would wind up at Po Folks. And they advertised tonight a BLT salad, and that looks really good. So, I'm just saying. I had to throw that out there. Now we're going to get to some Dear Bombshells because I don't want to get weepy. So, let's have a little fun with us, shall we? Dear Bombshell, here's the first question. Ooh, this is a good one. On a first date, should you stay the whole date or leave early? Well, according to Steve Harvey, you leave during hour 2 to leave a sense of mystery. Now, did that cost me, Mr. CB? I stayed for 3 hours because he asked me to on hour 3, thinking that we were making headway, thinking that we were starting off to a great relationship, not thinking that it wasn't not going anywhere. So what do I advise? Leave early. I'm turning into a really harsh person, so I don't mean to give you advice that's not going to work for you, and I hope to God it does work for you. It's just, for me, the advice I read, the advice I took to heart, didn't work for me. So yes, I am becoming a little bit more bitter. I have noticed that. Another question. Dear Bombshell, my boyfriend said that I should be watching what I eat. And I wonder if this is something that you have ever been affected by, A, and B, what should I tell him the next time he tells me, do you really want that greasy cheeseburger? Well, let me tell you, to me, I have lived both sides of the coin. I have ran to food for self-comfort. I have ran to food for thinking, you know what, no one else cares, so food does. And I wouldn't talk out my problems. So, if you're having problems communicating and you notice that you're running to food, don't do it. Talk your problems out. I don't care how bad they are. I don't care how overwhelming they are. Talk them out. Do not run to food. But on the other hand, don't let him sit there and judge you on what you're eating. It's your life. You only live once. And has it ever affected me? Twice. One was Mr. Park, because he was eating and I wasn't. But then again, he wasn't specific on our date. He didn't tell me that we were to bring the food to the park to eat. And he didn't tell me that, well, he did tell me to go ahead and go across the street and grab something to eat and come back. But at the time, and still to this day, I don't eat Taco Bell. And the reason being, I just don't. If I'm going to eat red meat, it's going to be Arby's, and it's going to be a junior, which I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm probably going to have to start ordering a regular roast beef and making that last for 2 days, because that's just too much meat. But yeah, it affected me. I would say a guy looks at you and wants to be able to be letting you know that he is proud to be seen with you, A, but B, he should not demean you for what you eat. B, just because a lifestyle or a way of eating habit, I don't want you to be in a relationship where you're getting talked down to, demeaned, and judged all the time. That's not good for you. I want you to wise up, realize that, you know what, this is not the relationship I need to be in. And if you have to, kick his ass to the curb. Sorry, I'm just really in a bad mood tonight. But don't let anyone tell you how to eat, because if it affects your health, if it affects your dreams, it affects where you want to be in life to your future, then he shouldn't be in your future. Next question. Dear Bombshell, I was wondering, can you give me advice on, what's that word? Skip that question. Dear Bombshell, I was so glad to watch your videos. Thank you. And I took your advice. Ooh, I like this one already. And for your information, I did break up with my girlfriend, and I decided to go back to my wife and children and work things out. I am not a cheater. Okay, so I messed up once. But that does not mean I will always cheat. I know better. I know my role as a provider for my wife and my child, and I will remain with them. Thank you, and that is a sincere thank you. God bless. Time will tell. You know, words are just that. actions speak louder than words. So if you actually stay with your wife and not go to some other woman, whether it be your ex-girlfriend now or another woman, time will tell. Dear Bombshell, I wanted to tell you that I have PCOS, and I watch your videos, I watch your Instagrams, and I want to know, what is your specific plan and would it work for me? I'm not a doctor, and every person is different. I could tell you what works for me, but it may or may not work for you. Consult your doctor, tell them where you want to be in life, and I hope they're well versed in PCOS. I hope that you know enough about your doctor to make a plan out and follow that plan to where you want to be in life. For me, my plan has worked for me to an extent. If it worked for me all the way, I would still be at 145. And I know the doctor says, well, as you age, that's to be expected. Not me. The word age, the word older, does not cut mustard with me. Just saying. Whew. Dear Bombshell, do you think that a country girl could make life with a city boy? Opposites attract. If you're serious about being in a relationship, there is no excuse for you not to be together. There's going to be things that he don't understand about you, and there's going to be things that you don't understand about him. But if you're willing to learn and take the time and effort to learn about each other, it should work. That's all I'm going to do for tonight. I don't know if I'll see you on Monday or Saturday this week. Upcoming. Like I said, my hairdresser's got a craft show on Saturday. So Monday she doesn't work. So things just... It's not like I've got major plans. So it all works out fine. We're going to see you shortly for one song. And that'll be it.